Hey, Stealth. Hey, Medicine Ghost. Sorry about the problems, man. My computer lost internet connection, so I had to restart it. I did get your message about Rocket League, saying that you might get Rocket League. I got that. I think you should, man. Rocket League is a really good game. Yeah, Rocket League is really good. Anyway, welcome, guys, to part 2.
There's only one of us left. Or maybe 2.
Of What Remains of Edith Finch.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Rocket League is great. Yeah, Rocket League is really good. Walter. See, Walter's story was she's basically investigating her family, find out why they all died, because they all died in mysterious circumstances, so she thinks that maybe there's a family curse. Walter basically saw something nasty, hid down in a cellar, survived on tinned peaches for 30 years and tinned other stuff for 30 years, and he decided he was gonna go and live his life. He said, if I live one day, better than living another 30 down here in a cellar. And he basically come out through here, and he was walking along here and he got run over by a train and died. That's why his gravestone is there. But yeah, he didn't last too long. We'll see that light over there. Basically, I've been just investigating in the house, but I've just left the house. The house is up there somewhere. There's the house. I've been in there in that house investigating. But
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
this must be their garden, man. It's a really nice garden. Imagine having this as Just wanted to see if I could swim. But I can't.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Quite a large pet cemetery.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
We found out how Barbara died. I think Walter, Edie, Calvin, Molly we found out. There's a few. I think there's a few more that we haven't found out.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Wow. Monument. Seem to focus in on it. Who's left and right? What is that? There we go.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Now.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
Down here. Oh no, that's the way I come in. Go down this way.
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, If she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant. I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Pregnant? She is. I guessed that before, really, looking down. Quite a belly.
They were both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something. Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
Perfect.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything? It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
Cool.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
That's not the one I need. That is not the shot I need.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere.
Shot.
I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Let's see.
I don't know. Which one is?
Maybe. Could have been.
Sounds kind of hard. Oh, it's a bird.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don.
Here we go. Was it that? Deer. The deer. There's a deer.
Before you take the shot, let me get a
That
picture.
fun little game.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn up. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. Great shot, Don!
Brutal. Selfie.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
It's a film. Ran out of film. Can hear it winding. Oh, I'm controlling him.
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Oh, that's how he died. So that's how he died. Wow, did you see that, man?
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Sam was a hunting maniac. That's that. That's Sam. Good riddance. The vegan coming out in me. Oh, that was harsh, wasn't it? Die like that. Such a waste. That was pretty non-spooky. That was the least spooky and supernatural out of all the deaths.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot. I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Look at the letters. Oh, that's really cool. This game, so many awesome ideas.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to
Come
come
here.
But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Never flown a kite in a video game before, guys. First time. Gotta say, it's very good. It's a great experience. There we go. Wow.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Wow, look at all this stuff I got. Cover it all. Look at that, looks so cool. Oh. What do I do with it all?
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
Gus. Gus got taken away by a kite.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Gus.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
I'm the frog. I'm controlling the frog. Hey. Wow.
Watching over Gregory, it's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw.
They're quite hard to get. I don't think I have to get them, but I want to get them. Maybe it's an achievement. I just don't. Oh, there we go. I've got that one. Yay. So, what do I have to do now?
Sure made him happy.
Oh, am I the whale? I'm the whale. I'm actually able to move the... Oh no, wait. Nah, I'm still the frog. Oh, I gotta get the words.
I know how silly it sounds. That I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you.
Being a
can do
baby's quite good fun.
Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything.
We're gonna drown.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
Get to the plug. Pull the plug.
I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want me to be happy too. Good luck, Kay.
There goes the baby.
Love, Sam.
So that's how the baby died. Hello Grant, how are you, buddy? This is What Remains of Edith Finch. We're a girl and we're just investigating her family tree and how all her family members died, because they all died under suspicious circumstances. That was how Gregory went. Seen Gregory, seen Gus, but no, we haven't seen Dawn yet. How did Dawn... Oh no, we did see Dawn.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Quite cozy.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Yeah, this is a really good game. I'm really enjoying this game.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Sanjay, there's Sanjay. I wondered when we were going to see Sanjay.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later. When my dad died,
we're going up into
I
the
don't think Mom knew where else to
extension.
go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Wow. Right up there now. We'll go this way first. Have a little walk around it. Actually, let's have a little spy through the hole. Look through the hole.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
What's this? Oh, Milton. Let's see how Milton died. The artist. I've seen a preview of what might be coming to PS in form of PS5. Oh, cool. Well, I'm going to do E3 in June. I'm going to stream E3 and we'll see. I think Xbox have moved their presentation to Sunday. Maybe PlayStation will be Monday.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Oh, it's a flick book, so I've got to do this. Hold on, how do I do this? Move it that way? Oh, cool. That's long. There's another book within a book. That's clever. Oh, that's awesome.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Wait, so where did Milton go? Milton doesn't have much of a story. He just disappeared into a little doorway.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Okay, so he just went missing. He didn't actually die.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
He may be dead though.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
I like that room. Room looks pretty cool. Look at these chairs. What a view. That. What a view.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on. Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Video game. He was a streamer. Look, he's got 2 teeth.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh!
He kept working at the cannery.
That was... I'm controlling this, guys,
But
by
he
the way.
withdrew part of
I'm
himself.
moving the hand, I'm picking up the fish. Vegan's nightmare, guys.
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior.
Poor fish.
His mind began
Imagine
to...
doing this all day, though. Be a bit much, wouldn't it? Mine began to...
wander.
There we go. Oh, I'm controlling this guy in here now. I'm controlling this dude.
I asked him to describe it.
Controlling little... Wait, I think I've got to control both.
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved.
Oh man, it's hard. I got to control both
Bats.
things at the same time.
And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But
That's
he took
cool,
it very
isn't it?
seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Got to be up here.
But he found something more.
Oh, wow, I'm playing a game.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
Killing these beautiful beasts. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm kind of lost in the dark. Here we go. Hey, Caxi. Welcome, mate, by the way. Nice to see you back,
I even
Taxi.
encouraged him.
Seen you in a while. Very good game, this one, mate.
It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new
I'm doing
friend.
2 things at a time, and I'm doing 3 things at a time because I'm having to read chat as well. As well as control the guy picking up the fish, control the other guy in the top left.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Built his own little town. Yeah, Grant, I saw you wrote about the controllers. It sounds interesting, mate. They were going with the old motion controller.
And songs for them to play.
Sounds pretty cool.
He talked about starting a band. And and he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery, but his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor, and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already...
It's really interesting because while Lewis was working, he was cutting fish and imagining all this stuff at the same time. And the game actually gets you to cut the fish, because I have to move, look, left and right, I have to move, and then I have to put it in a box while I'm controlling this guy. So the game actually gets you to do those two things at the same time. So it's almost like you're him. It's really immersive because it's like you're doing the work, and then at the same time you're moving in his imagination. It's really clever game.
It became a game for him.
Now I'm controlling the boat. Wow. You got to do the fish because they pile up.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Sounds like a good
St. Louis.
sounds like a good RTS game, doesn't it?
He started drifting away from our reality.
Real-time strategy game. I love RTS game.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
There's a couple of views on YouTube.
In
There's one
Lewisburg,
more.
he heard rumours of a
Interesting, I might have to check them out. But...
handsome queen.
oh, it gives you the choice, Queen or Prince. Like it. Just goes to show that some jobs...
The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows.
Oh crap, I missed that one. I think I have to go through them all.
He followed the sound of her
Ah, it's really hard.
silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Bit of fish there.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Getting bigger though, it's taken over reality. Taken over his job at the fish shop.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
You should have written it down. Become a novelist. It'd be a great book.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
Please don't get your fingers caught.
And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Wow. We're in his world. Are we in his world? I think we're in his world. Oh, hold on. I know we're in a fish shop.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
But it smells pretty bad in there. Amazingly, without losing fingers, not any permanent damage. I had my fingers damaged in those machines twice. Oh wow, nasty.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his
We're
companions.
in the lands of wonder. I like this place. See you later, fish factory. Bye. Going to Wonderland.
Including the wise Calico who had insisted on inviting him. His queen waited, holding his crown.
My queen.
There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
Oh no. No! It's the fish guillotine. We've gone mad.
I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
That's what happens if you get caught up in your imagination, guys. And you work in a fish factory.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
If he had a different job, he would have been alright. Packing tissues or something. Ended up in a Kleenex box. But fish factories, a dangerous environment. That was a great story though, that one. That was one of my favourites, definitely one of my favourites.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
A lot of these stories are dark, Caxi. A lot of them, because basically her family, they've all died under really, really weird circumstances. A lot of them, and she's going through them all. She's trying to find out if the family's cursed or if there's something amiss going on. You know, because all these deaths have been really, really strange. Like all of them.
I wish we'd stayed.
Hey, Eggs. How's it going, mate?
But I understand why we left.
Hey, Jack.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
I need to just start thinking, oh, well, why do you need to...
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Last night? Edith. What happened to Edith? This is Edith. I'm Edith. Wait, this is me. Am I dead? Can't be, because I'm pregnant. I'm not, but... Do I actually have to fight?
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word.
How's it going, Eggs?
Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving
This was
tomorrow.
the
Let's
last
just
night, they're
enjoy our
Chinese.
lives.
I'm
Isn't
not
it?
leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Okay. I'm excused.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
Maybe we're gonna go
There'd
to
been
that.
an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
Granny, don't mix drinks and drugs.
When the fog
Pretty
rolled
good.
in, I lost my way.
Yeah, I'm really good, Eggs. I'm really enjoying this game. This game's amazing. I'm coming to the end now, though, so I'm trying to
I
zone
got
out a bit.
turned around.
Yeah, really, really good game. Not long, but literally about 3 hours. Very good.
For a while, I wondered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
I'm just trying to figure out what goes tomorrow. I have a meeting tomorrow, and I don't really understand that one, Jack. Is that a job meeting, Jack? Yeah, is that a job meeting, Jack? Some training thing. Oh, okay. Infinity War, is that a movie?
She got better for a while. And then she didn't.
Died.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive.
Where was that other little kid?
Until I found out about you.
Me?
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
I'm the baby.
This journal was supposed to be for you.
I'm now her baby inside her belly. I'm coming out, guys. I'm gonna be born. Yes, I'm gonna be born. Born again. Got another chance. Got respawn. Another chance at life.
But now I hope you'll never see it.
Coming out.
I just want to meet you.
Coming out, I'm a little baby.
And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Isn't it weird, like, when we're born, we go into the light, and they say when you die, go to the light. Come in! Come in! I don't want to... Reached.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Oh, she died. She died giving birth. I still haven't got any answers. No! I got no answers. Look back and take... Caxi. Caxi. Side, I'm laughing. Maybe when you die and go to the light, it's you being reborn as a baby. Maybe, man. Maybe, yeah, we're just being reborn again. Wow, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? But on a different planet, in a different galaxy. I'll tell you what, guys, that was probably one of the best games I've played for a long time. Years. One of the best games. Do you want like a short campaign, short story game? And play this. This is really, really good. Amazing game. Amazing game. I'll give that game... I'd just give it a 10. Because it knows what it is. It's short. It knows it's short. It knows what it's trying to do and it does it really well. You know, I think it really executes what it was trying to do. I think it was pretty much perfect, man. Amazing. Loved it. Beautiful game. One of the most original games I've ever played. I know. Yeah. Of all people, that joke's coming from Caxi. I knew it would come from you. Someone said to me, somebody's written this in chat. Who is it? I would definitely say that was Caxi. Maybe, yeah, truly a great game. Yeah, Jack, man. Amazing. Have you played it, Jack? I didn't know you'd played it. I like that one. Barbara Finch. That was a great story. That was really good. It was like a comic book, and then you was actually controlling the people in the comic. It was like a collection of short stories. It was almost like in the UK we used to have this TV show called Tales of the Unexpected. It might have been in America as well, I'm not sure. It was like really short horror stories. And this was kind of similar to that. I think there's one in America that I used to watch called Tales from the Crypt or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, really short, freaky horror stories. Some of them were. Most of them were quite dark. But I wouldn't say they were all horror. Maybe some mystery. Look at all these kiddie photos, man. It's like it's a great bowl cut, man. Five cast iron pots out of 5. Yeah, cast iron. Yeah. I will give it a 10. I mean, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but that's you know, I wouldn't mark it down because of that, because that's the genre that it goes at. That's the genre that it's aiming for. Short campaign, great story. Really intuitive controls, you know, considering you're a plastic frog in a bath and a snake and a bird and a cat jumping through trees and a baby, loads and loads of different people and different creatures and different objects, and the controls are all the same. You don't. By the way, guys, I didn't use any of these buttons. Didn't use any of the A, B, X buttons at all. All it was the 2 thumbsticks and the 2 triggers, and that is it. Throughout the whole game, all those objects and characters I was controlling, just 2 triggers and 2 thumbsticks, and that was it. Really, really good, really intuitive controls. I like the swing. When I was rocking the swing and I had to swing with both legs, I swung really high and went over. I like that one. Yeah, I can't really say enough about this game. Great experience. Yeah, I played it back a while ago. That's why I just lurked most of the time to reset spoilers. Oh. Cool. Tales from the Crypt was kind of like earlier Twilight Zone series, right? Yeah, that's right, yeah. Twilight Zone, that's it. Yeah. It's like that. Lots of little stories like the Twilight Zone. Tell you what though, it didn't give you any answers, did it really? I think her grandma had the answers in that book. We needed to get through it, but our mother took it off of us. Wow. I love that game. Right, what are we going to do next? I think next I might... some pretty games. I might go for that. Witness. I hear this is a great game. Play super hot. I want to play something unusual, I think. I really like this. This is really good. So I think I'd like to play more of that, but I've only got a trial version. Yeah, I've got so many games ready to... I've got 179 games ready to be. So many. Play that. Think I should play that? Yeah, I should go for that. Maybe I'll go for Inside. Maybe Unravel. Alright guys, well, super hot sounds hot. Yeah, I could do.
Peggy 12.
We should do Left 4 Dead 2, yeah. We could do Left 4 Dead 2 all the way through. Arranged. Oh. Things, how many gigabytes you got on your Xbox? Things to handle things. How many gigabytes of space have I got? Got 500 on the internal. I got 1 GB free. Wow. 500 on internal, and my external hard drive I think is about, I think might be about 400 or something. It's not many games, is it? You know, like 500 gigabytes. When you think about it, gets me just this amount of games. That can go. I don't know why. Don't know why I got that there like that. I suppose Fallout 4, Far Cry, big games, Assassin's Creed, big game. Big game, Grand Theft Auto. That's what I've actually got installed. Another big game, I guess. Isn't this supposed to be a really good game? Black. I missed it the first time round. I heard this was a great game.
Receiving heavy fire.
Old Xbox One, the original Xbox. Right, guys, I think my 1 TB PS4 is half full with just 7 games installed. Wow. If we do Left 4 Dead, can we go to the medium difficulty? Yeah, we'll do it on medium for sure, Jack. We should get the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Is that online, Elder Scrolls? WB Stealth. What's WB Stealth mean? Where be Stealth? Stealth was here. Don't know where Stealth's gone now. I'm gonna sign off now, guys. Thanks for watching. Might be worth checking out that Caxi, that game part. There's only 2 parts. It's only about I think the first stream was an hour, this stream was an hour, so it's only like a 2-hour game, but check out the first part, Caxi. You might like, but if you like the end of that, what Remains of Edith Finch that I just played, watch the first video. Oh, Stealth is here. No, it's the old X. Yeah, no, it's the old Xbox. It's complicated though because you say Xbox One, meaning the first Xbox, but this Xbox is called the Xbox One. This Xbox should have been called the Xbox 3, not the Xbox One. Yeah, I think at one stage I had black on my Xbox original, but I just didn't get around to playing it. I remember someone saying to me it was really good. Alright, I'm gonna go now. Thanks guys for watching. Great game, man. Love that game. One of the best games I played. One of the best games I played in years, that one. Can't remember being that surprised and kind of entertained in an original, unique ways. Playing Journey probably on the PlayStation. Alright guys, take care. Good night. Night Caxi, good night Jack, good night Stealth.